What's up, guys? The New Orleans Saints have actually won back-to-back games for the first time since the last two games of last season. On a 17-10 win against the Cleveland Browns. Carl Granderson, you are daddy. You are so sexy. Yes, I said what I said. He made the game-winning sack he was peeled off in coverage on 4th and 10, and then he came back to rush the passer after no one got there, and he got the sack on Deshaun Watson. The defense actually clutched up for once, and if we didn't choke to Tampa Bay, this win would actually have so much more implication than it does now. This does actually somehow keep our season still alive, but Carolina is currently murdering Detroit, or I believe it was 34-20 last time I checked, with like 2 minutes left. So Carolina probably won that game. Tampa Bay plays Arizona tomorrow night with Trace McSorley at quarterback, so Tampa Bay is going to win. There's absolutely zero way they're going to lose to Arizona, which sucks. But since we won, that keeps our season alive just barely. We're now sitting at 6-9. Tampa Bay is 6-8, so they win. They're going to be 7-9 or 7-8. Carolina is going to be 6-8 or 6-9 actually. So we're probably still going to be third in the division, but there's still a chance. If we win these next two games and Tampa Bay loses one of two, which I believe Tampa Bay's remaining schedule is Carolina and Atlanta. So they lose one of those two games and we win out, we'd be in the playoffs. But if we play the Eagles next week, and that's going to be a tough-ass task. Now, what helps us out there is that Jalen Hurts may not play that game because he's out for this game this week against the Cowboys because of like a shoulder sprain or something like that. And he's uncertain to play next week against the Saints. So if we can get the Eagles with no Jalen Hurts, that'd be a massive advantage for us. Actually give us an actual shot against the best team in the NFL. This was a big win. The defense played really well. Cleveland pretty much just ran the ball the whole game, and they did have some good runs, but, I mean, they were literally they ran like 30 or 40 times this game, and there were only a few big runs. So, I thought the defense played pretty well. Daniel Sorensen, of all people, got a fucking interception. Daniel Sorensen got an interception. That's fucking crazy. The first half, nothing was going right. We couldn't move the ball, and now, granted, we had no receivers this game. Olave was out. Landry just got put on IR. Michael Thomas hasn't played all year since week 3. Our wide receiver 1 for this game was Shaheed. He had a pretty solid game, especially considering that he was the wide receiver 1. He had a few catches. I think he had 4 or 5 catches, maybe like 50 yards. He had a solid game. Our other receivers this game were fucking Traquan Smith and Keith Kirkwood. Keith Kirkwood had 2 bad drops. Like, he fucking sucks, but he's not even supposed to be on the field. So, I mean, it is what it is, but he's washed up. He's got to fucking go do something else with his life. But like I said, he had a good game. Kamara scored a touchdown in this game. Kamara finally scored a touchdown, and he ties the Saints' all-time franchise touchdown record with Marcus Colston at 72 total touchdowns. So if he can break the record, I'd actually like it if he broke the record against Carolina Week 18 just so it could be in the Dome, and I'd also be there for that. So it'd be awesome if he could break the record then. But if he breaks the record next week against Philadelphia, I'm also okay with that, But Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara pretty much were the reason why the Saints won this game, and that's because the Saints went into halftime down 10-3, and they started up the third quarter fucking great. They first they got the ball and they scored a touchdown on a Taysom Hill run. It was the 2 drives they scored on because they scored with Taysom the first drive, and then Daniel Sorensen got a pick, and then Alvin Kamara scored his first touchdown since week 8. The third quarter, those 2 drives where the Saints had their success was all Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara pretty much. So they were a lot of the reason why the Saints won this game. The defense did not allow a single point after the Browns went up 10-0. They did not allow a single point. The Browns went down the field at the end of the game, but the Saints stopped them in the red zone, which is fucking awesome. I think the Browns are eliminated now, but that does not affect us at all whatsoever. The Saints are still alive. They actually won a fucking snow game, which is crazy. It felt like negative 20-some degrees, I'm pretty sure. It actually was I just want to say 5 degrees, anywhere from 0 to 5 degrees in Cleveland. So, I mean, if you know the Saints, you know that the Saints do not do cold. They do not do well in the cold. And they did what they had to do. This was a very boring game, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been dragging my ass all day, and I was very I didn't care. I mean, I do care because it's the Saints. I'm a diehard Saints fan. Of course I fucking care. But it was I wasn't super into it as I usually am. You know what I'm saying? So, it was a very boring game, but obviously the one the Saints really needed to win. And they needed to play a boring style in order to win the game because they have no receivers, and Andy Dalton is a very boring quarterback. So it had to be Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara, and that's exactly what it was. Defense played very well with, once again, no Marshall Lattimore. I honestly doubt he even plays again this year. It really sucks that his injury has kept him out this long, but, I mean, it is what it is. The Saints won. You have the Eagles in Philadelphia next on New Year's Day, which is going to be a tough fucking task. But if there's no Jalen Hurts, then it's our defense going up against a completely different offense than what it would be if it was Jalen Hurts. So that would be huge for us because you would play a lot better against a Gardner Minshew offense than a Jalen Hurts offense because we cannot stop that RPO scheme worth a shit. And especially considering Jalen Hurts can actually throw the ball now, and he has an elite wide receiver now in A.J. Brown. So I really hope Marshall Lattimore is playing next week because we really need someone to cover A.J. Brown. But let's just enjoy this win. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Good shit, Saints, for stepping up. And we got Philly next week, so I'll see you guys then.